In recent events, China, Africa, and Russia have made significant moves that have far-reaching implications for the US economy. Yet they've received little attention from the Western media. These events challenge the power of the United States and the use of the American dollar in trade around the world. The president of Kenya made a very important announcement. Kenya has been using the American dollar for a long time in their trade, but now they want to use their own currency instead. This is a big deal because it goes against the way things have been for a long time. It shows that African countries want to be more independent and have more control over their own trade. They still want to use the American dollar when buying things from the US, but for trade within Africa, they want to use their own currencies. Africa has been influenced by Western countries for a long time, and they've relied on the American dollar. But now they want to do things their own way and have more freedom in their trade. This is a big change that challenges how things have been done before. We should understand that these changes can affect ordinary Americans who have their money in banks and worry about their family's future. African nations are now coming together and forming stronger regional ties to reduce their dependence on external currencies, especially the US dollar. Recently, a Zambian politician expressed concerns about the exploitation and oppression Africa has faced from Western powers in the past. Africa is now standing up for its autonomy and sees Russia and China as reliable partners in this endeavor. A democracy summit was held in Zambia not too long ago, with a focus on reducing cooperation with China and Russia in favor of Western influence. However, African nations are challenging the notion that they should only align with Western allies. They're questioning the actions of Western governments, including allegations of overthrowing African governments and assassinating their leaders for selfish motives. While some may find these claims surprising or think they are fake news, it's important to recognize that there is evidence of the United States and other Western powers interfering in African affairs. The extent of such interference is significant, although it may not have received widespread attention in mainstream media. It's crucial to acknowledge and reflect upon Africa's experiences, which shed light on the complex dynamics at play. Let's take a closer look at a specific example that helps us understand the historical situation. Meet Patrice Lumumba, the first Prime Minister of the Democratic Republic of Congo. He held this position for a short time, only 4 months, from June to September 1960. Unfortunately, Lumumba's time in office was cut short because he was assassinated by Western powers. Why did this happen to Lumumba? Well, he dared to challenge the way things were and spoke up for Congo's right to control and benefit from its own valuable minerals and resources. He boldly told Western governments that Congo was no longer going to be controlled by them. He wanted them to leave his country and stop exploiting its resources. However, the Western powers didn't listen and continued their presence in Congo's mines. Lumumba sought help from the United Nations, but they didn't pay much attention to his plea. Feeling desperate, Congo turned to the Soviet Union for support. Unfortunately, it was at this point that the CIA, the United States Intelligence Agency, and the Belgian forces, who were occupying the mines, joined forces to plan and carry out Lumumba's assassination. The United States played a major role in installing a government that would do what it wanted, even if it meant going against the will of the Congolese people. This event had a significant impact on the course of Congo's history. This example shows us the complex power dynamics and interventions that have influenced the fate of nations. Lumumba's tragic fate reveals how far some Western powers were willing to go to protect their own interests, often disregarding the sovereignty and well-being of African nations. Remembering Lumumba's struggle and the events that followed in Congo serves as a powerful reminder of the intricate and far-reaching consequences of geopolitical actions. It's no surprise that the world order, where one power dominated everything, is falling apart. The bullies are now getting a taste of their own medicine. Africa is closely watching as support from America moves towards China and Russia. Africa is making a strong choice to protect its independence and control over its own minerals and resources. A prominent politician from Zambia, whose name we should mention, boldly states that Africa is tired of being taken advantage of. She says Africa has learned from past experiences and is actively seeking different forms of support. Africa has always been rich in natural resources, which the West has always wanted. But things are changing now, and Africa has more options. In the past, Africa had to accept unfair deals from Western countries. But now, with a multipolar world emerging, Africa has more choices. It's clear that working with the West is no longer the only option. The BRICS partnership, Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, is reaching out to Africa, offering financing, infrastructure development, and a better future. This shift doesn't make the West happy, as they were used to being in control. One powerful example of this change comes from Chile, a country with a lot of resources, especially lithium. Chile recently decided to take control of its lithium production from Western governments trying to exploit it. As a result, the price of lithium went up, aligning with Africa's desire for self-determination. The struggle between the East and the West is getting more intense. The era of relying only on the US dollar is ending. Africa and other nations are rethinking their power and making their natural resources more valuable. They question the idea of selling minerals for low prices in exchange for protection. Countries are standing up for themselves, protecting their resources, and asking for fairer deals. Nations now face a crucial choice: stick with those who have harmed them in the past or explore new options. Will the alternative be better than the Western governments that exploited them for so long? Only time will tell as the world goes through this transformative shift. Today, a big change is happening in the world, and the West isn't happy about it. But the most important news comes from Chile, a country with lots of resources, especially lithium. In the year 2023 and beyond, lithium is super important for batteries in electric cars and everyday gadgets. Chile has the most lithium in the world, and for a long time it has been taken advantage of. But now, the government decided to take control of its lithium production, which used to be controlled by Western governments. This surprised everyone and made the price of lithium go way up. Chile's move is similar to what Africa is doing to protect its resources and have more control. The fight between the East and the West is really clear. Before, it was easy to choose the US and its money, but things have changed and now there are more choices. Chile's nationalization of the lithium market is a really big deal in the fight over resources and trade. Countries don't want to sell their valuable minerals for cheap in exchange for protection anymore. They don't want to say, "We'll give you our minerals for almost nothing if you protect us with your military." Now countries have to decide: do they stick with the ones who hurt them, took their resources and made them use the US dollar? Or do they try something different? Right now, they're choosing the alternative and saying no to the exploitation by Western countries. Only time will tell if this alternative is better for them. Time will show if it brings a fairer future for these nations. While Chile taking control of its lithium production, North America is now rushing to develop its own lithium resources. Lithium One Metals has an exciting lithium project in Quebec, which is quickly becoming the top hub for lithium mining in North America. Recently, the Biden administration passed the Inflation Reduction Act, which, let's be honest, hasn't really reduced inflation. However, it has set aside billions of dollars for green energy companies to install solar batteries, charging stations, and other components for green energy. This funding supports companies that can build green infrastructure in the United States and Canada, is also collaborating with friendly nations to develop supply chains. The US has shown interest in investing in Ontario mining companies to secure vital minerals like lithium. Currently, there is only one lithium mine in the United States. There was a news feature last month about Canada's single near-term lithium mine. However, preparations are underway, and by this time next year, this mine could be one of the few productive lithium mines in North America. With that said, thank you for watching. Be sure to hit that subscribe button and stay tuned for more. And if you found this content helpful, give the video a like. See you in the next video. Till then, take care.